Good morning. So today we have the Havana food tour planned, and then tonight is dinner at Joel Robuchon. That's it. Then we got to come back here, pack up, and we head out tomorrow to Atlanta. So we'll see you along the way today on the food tour. Bye.
Well, let me see, I was chatting to most of you in the beginning. So I have Sandy and Julie here, California, right? A little like long weekend trip, right? Then I have my folks from Ohio. They have been on my tour in South Beach before. So it is Monica, John, and Vlad, right? Okay, so how you guys, how long are you staying?
This is our last full day. We're actually on a road trip, a 17-day road trip.
17-day road trip.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm envious right now. All right. So you ladies are staying in Brickell. You told me, well, you pretty much just moving around, right?
Yep.
What about your Miami location?
We don't want to talk about it.
it's a horrible hotel.
All right. Let's forget about it. Geographically, at least, where. Welcome now officially to your little Havana food and cultural tour with Miami Culinary Tour. So here you have Lana, which is short for Svetlana, because I'm originally from St. Petersburg, Russia, not Florida. Havana, right, this area, the limits, the way it's organized, let's say if you go to the west, and we will start heading to the west in a moment, it goes all the way up to 38th Avenue. And if you go to the east, 4th Avenue, almost Brickell actually where you stay, right? And north and south, think about 3 blocks each way. So it's not that little in fact. It's a pretty big square or rectangular area, and what is little is this cultural core, which is right here, and that brings us to the street that we are going to be exploring today, the meeting heart of the neighborhood. 8 streets right here, or in Spanish we call it Calle Ocho. That's it. So this beating heart, this cultural core of the neighborhood, it's right here in between 12th and 17th Avenues, and that's what we'll explore today. And this is the best stretch of it. Let's say all the rest is just very residential, just houses and condos and some automobile repair shops. So we'll be around here, all right? Now, yeah, automobile repair shops. Well, life, regular life. So yeah, let's start heading this way to the west. Can you hear me? Yeah. Well, you're not in Miami. You're not in Little Havana anymore. You're in Havana. We are going to visit an iconic place here. This place is called El Pub, and that's the first story. Well, the second story after mine I have for you. Imagine, a long time ago, a man whose name was Eleodoro Coro lived in Cuba with his 12 brothers under
That's okay.
under the communist regime, under Castro, and their only dream was to get away
Gotcha.
and escape from that regime. And unfortunately, only Mr. Eleodoro Coro and only one of his brothers out of 12 of them were able to do that. They were just in search of a better life. And they first made it to Spain, took a breath of the freedom, and finally were able to come to the United States. And on a chance trip to New Jersey, out of all places, they run into an old friend of theirs, whose name was Mr. Rivera. And they heard, when they got together, they heard that there was a restaurant on sale in Miami. This one. And they have been here ever since for over 25 years. This is some of the most iconic places here. This is where our old people, the viejitos, the elderly, come in the morning to share their cafecito, their coffee, smoke a cigar, and solve the world's problems. Let me take a side.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. I didn't hear what she said.
Just gonna follow.
Okay.
So, well, I'll just start my storytelling, moving from table to table here. So no worries, I'll get to everyone and you'll be able to hear what I'm saying, alright? So maybe I'll just do 2 and 2, something like that. If you guys can't hear me, I can hear you. Yeah? Am I so loud? Really? It's fine. Oh my god.
You're perfect.
I'm so nasty.
Because I'm half deaf, so you're good.
Alright, well, again, if you can't hear, you let me know, alright? So, I was asking you to have a look at the pictures there when we were coming in. Have you recognized that guy there in the picture? Rock. Oh, The Rock, right? Dwayne Johnson. So, yeah, he's actually a fan of this place, so I have a surprise for you. He's here. No, he's not here.
Bummer.
Just, right? Okay. Just imagine that it's not some old place that's been here for 20 plus something years, right? It's one of the TV show sets because why is Dwayne Johnson, why was he here? They were filming several episodes of The Ballers. So if you rewatch some of those, you will recognize the setting here. Okay. What we are going to have here, we will start with some people watching. I wanted to say, right? Oh my god, so sorry. So we are going to start, guys, with our empanadas here. Now, empanadas is very much Miami street food, finger food, and honestly, if you come to Miami and don't have an empanada, it's like going to, let's say, New York and not having a slice or a bagel. Why even butter, pretty much? So here they are coming. Let me spray your hands here.
Thank you.
Welcome. Empanadas, guys. Yeah, María. Solamente creo que necesitamos un poco más de servilleta. In a second. So guys, these empanadas, I want you to think the closest that I can give you is, let's say, sloppy joes but without the bun, right? So they come with picadillo. Picadillo is ground beef, which is cooked in Cuban sofrito. And sofrito is very much the holy trinity of Cuban cooking. It's just always there. They start every dish with that. So onions, garlic, and bell peppers. And now imagine that old Cuban abuela, the grandma, who's right there in front of the stove with a big old pot, and she starts stirring those finely chopped onions and throws in some garlic and bell peppers, right? And stirs everything until it's nice and soft. Then goes the ground beef. She throws nice serving of the ground beef, works it out to remove the lumps, right? And then she throws in some magic. Now we all have this nice little touch of magic that we add to the dishes that we cook for the family. And it is cumin and oregano. Educated in Cuba, right? The Cuban indigenous people, they were making it on cassava flour, and would just put some bird meat inside of fish. Then the Spanish colonization arrived, they introduced the pork, so that's the closest. And then all those Cubans in the beginning of the 19th century, they were going to Key West for work because it was a big cigar manufacturing center. So the pickles and the mustards, man, not a very Caribbean ingredients per se, right? They were actually most probably added already in Key West because there were Germans there, German Jews to be more exact. They added mustard and pickles. And actually that old cigar industry later on shifted to Tampa. And in Tampa they had a lot of Italians. So in Tampa, the Cuban sandwich is slightly different.
Okay.
They add Italians. They add salami to it.
Okay.
Right? There's always this feud about what should and should not go into the Cuban sandwich.
Right.
And you will have it different ways. In Tampa, it comes with salami. In Miami, it doesn't. You know what they do to you in Miami if you want it with salami?
They tell you no? They look at you weird?
Okay, no Scarface thing, like that. No. You just pay a couple of extra dollars more. They charge you. So you have Cuban bread there, right? And roasted pork, ham, Swiss cheese, some pickles, and mustard.
Excellent.
Sure.
Thank you.
Alright. The second part of our yes, is the cubano, the Cuban sandwich, right? Does anyone here think that it comes from Cuba? Yes? No? Maybe? Yeah? No? Come in, right? Cuban. Cool. Cuban. So, Cuban coffee, huh? Do I have any coffee addicted people here? Anyone who can't wake up without a cup of coffee? Huh? Okay, you're gonna love that then, guys. So first of all, I wanted you to step outside, right? Why? Have a look at that window. This is what is called ventanita in Spanish. And definitely when you come to Miami, you feel like you're in a different country. Miami is very Latino. And a quick question here. Has anyone seen food trucks in this city? No.
I've seen one.
You won't see a lot of them. Normally, they are in downtown area or North Miami area, right? This is just not the big part of our street food culture because the Latinos do ventanitas, the small windows. You can add a little ita to your name actually if you want to sound like small, cute. So they call me Lanita here or Moniquita, you just play around with it, right? The ventanitas is the important part of our everyday life. This is where we get our coffee and this is when time stops for us. It's just a time out when we get the cafecitos, the social experience, a little conversation. All the political talk in the city happens over a cup of coffee, I swear. So, different ways of ordering your coffee, of course. And if you're by yourself, you would order cafe. Cafe is one person, single serving, right? But if you have some company, if you have friends, family, you'll better have with you. Or maybe you want to take it to the office and share it with your colleagues. You will order colada. So this is what I have right here, colada. If you want to remember, just think piña colada, but without piña. Nothing to do with the drink, just the association, alright? Colada. And you see this tiny little cup here? This is not because we are having a sample, not because it's a demo size, no. This is because this coffee is supposed to be shared. I mean, don't make that mistake, don't have the whole colada by yourself. You will be like this Energizer bunny from the ad. You'll be dancing all night long. It's a lot of caffeine here, so that's why we share it. That's why we do not recommend normally more than 2 little cups. That's enough. And that definitely wakes you up. It's very strong. So when we open it, you will see, oh boy, look at that. Look at that beautiful foam. That's what's called espumita in Spanish. Espumita, la crema. This is not milk or cream. There's nothing dairy there. It is sugar. Now, Cuban coffee is very similar to espresso, Italian espresso, but it comes sweet by default. Now, be careful, it might be a little hot. Let's just take a couple of those.
Ooh, that's strong.
That is delicious.
Oh, that is so strong.
Señor Francisco. Señor Francisco is El Manicero. So that's a street vendor who sells toasted peanuts. And it's very common in the Caribbean and South America. And you'll say, Lana, what's the big deal? Why is he a celebrity? Well, this is because it's not common for Miami. We do not have street vendors here. And Senor Francisco, guys, believe it or not, has been doing that for 53 years. He started in Havana, Cuba, and then he came here, went into the streets of Little Havana already, and he very much made the administration of this city license him. He's the only officially licensed street vendor in the city. That's why he's been featured in our Spanish-speaking local newspaper. And when you make it to that newspaper, oh yes, you are a celebrity. Yeah, I brought you to Havana again, because if you look around, you'll see this is such a beautiful setting here of this outdoor patio that you see inside of those hotels in Havana. And the place is called Old Havana. This is it, the most historic neighborhood of the capital of Cuba. And we're going to have our mojitos here. They will be coming out shortly. I'll be with you in a moment, all right? Still very refreshing. That's what I made for the home parties for my boyfriend's nieces. They love it normally. It's just very easy drinking and refreshing. And even without rum, it's still very close to the origins if you think of it, because it still has sugar, the quintessential Cuban ingredient. Then you have freshly squeezed lime juice, which brings already this balance of sweet and acidic. And then you have mint. And if you make them at home, you need to muddle that, because the mint releases the essential oils, and you get the balance of sweet, sour, and bitter. And then goes all the rest, which is club soda and ice, and rum if it's the one that has liquor. And rum is the national Cuban liquor. Now look how they serve it, with a little sugarcane stick inside there. You can stir it to make sure that the sugar is dissolved, and then you can chew it. They actually give sugarcane sticks to kids in Cuba when they start feeding. So you can just get some extra sweetness out of it, right? Okay. Enjoy. I'll be back to you in a moment. Already ready? We're going to our street art district. But there is also a lot of art here in Little Havana. And we just had mojitos. Those who had mojitos with rum, you had it with Bacardi rum, right? What country do you associate Bacardi with? Interesting, right? Well, they are based out of Puerto Rico these days, so many people would say Puerto Rico, but it actually was started in Cuba, because Bacardi were a family of Spanish wine merchants, and they went to Cuba, immigrated there when it was still a Spanish colony around 1830s. So when they came there, rum was already being made in Cuba, but it wasn't anything upscale or refined, let's say, right? So what they did, they played around a little bit with filtering. They started refining rum on charcoal. This is how they received the first white or refined rum, which is used in cocktails these days. And they started using white oak barrels. And the secret yeast recipe that is not disclosed to anyone up until this day. This is a long stay, actually, in the neighborhood. It's also probably the most colorful McDonald's, with a lot of art on its walls that you'll ever see. The owners do love art, and they bring local artists to decorate it. This is a McDonald's where you can get Cuban coffee. Supply and demand in the city, actually, yes. That this is a grocery store, right? And it's in fact very common for people in the Caribbean, some Southern American countries, to go do some grocery shopping and then have a bite at a local cafeteria inside of the grocery store. Or what works even better is actually first having a bite and then do the shopping, right? You avoid the impulsive buying. And this is pretty tiny here comparing to what you will see in our the local Latino supermarkets, for example, El Presidente. I am bringing you here for the croquetas, Cuban croquettes. This is something that Cubans very much eat up when they are growing up. So for that reason, many of them can even tell you that those croquetas were invented by their abuelas, their grandmas in the kitchen of their houses, right? But the story, in fact, goes a little bit more back in time. Most probably, guys, think of it, to the French court. French court, yes. And basically, it's the protein of choice mixed with the French mother sauce, bechamel. So that creaminess, the soft texture inside that you will taste, it comes from the bechamel mixture, which is flour, butter, milk, and some nutmeg. And then the recipe just came to Spain. The Spanish finalized it, and with the Spanish conquistadors, again, it came to our region of interest this day. So.
Thank you.
Now, guys, this place, can you hear me? A little bit harder with the traffic. This place is called Los Pinareños Fruteria, and it's some of the oldest mom and pop businesses here in the neighborhood. It's actually 3 generations of the same family running this place for 57 years. Oh, mira quién está aquí! Oh my God! I know him from my club, guys. That was one of the sandwich people, the maestro of Cuban sandwiches. Yes. Okay. Bueno, cuídate mucho. All right. Juan. So, yeah, 57 years, right? Look at that. We have Señora Guermina right here, the sweet Cuban lady, the mother of the family. 82 years old, guys, and she still comes here. And then we have Angel, her son, and they are working on extracting the juice for us, which is going to be guarapo, or sugarcane juice. I mean, I know we live in the industrial age. It is so hard to wrap your mind around the idea that you can extract some liquid from sugarcane, right? But again, we traveled to Cuba today together, and this is something very common there. Guarapo.
Thank you.
That's the name of the place, and look around. It is in fact a franchise that was started in Venezuela. And normally when you think of a franchise, you think of something so standardized and soulless, right? But this is such a different place here. The owner, Danny, he just brings a lot of this Cuban flavor to it, with the decoration, with the music. Well, he's not here right now, but when he is, there is his car parked right out there, in 1954 Chevy, which you see as the little model right here. That's his car in the regular size. And this is so antique these days already. Oh.
Thank you.
Well, you tell me, you're the expert. So, that's an interesting place here. It's called a callejón de gallo, which is like the alleyway of a rooster. That's basically talking about the Domino Park. This is it, the Domino Park in its very beginning, 1963, right? And if you come here, well, right over there you can actually see Danny's car that I was talking about. Here it is, parked right here. But I wanted you to have a look at that piece of art. Now, what is it? It is cigar boxes, right? Very much the definition of sustainable art. And we'll go into the cigar factory when you guys are done with your churros. So just have a moment here, since it's a cultural experience here. So cigars, Cuban cigars, definitely, they are famous around the world. Probably even if you're not a smoker, you've heard of them, right? And that's because it's the centuries-old tradition. Those indigenous people of Cuba, they were smoking their cigars long before Christopher Columbus landed there. So this place is called Havana Classic, and it's a cigar factory. Now, this is very much the closest you can get to find a Cuban cigar in this country. Of course, because of the trade embargo. You can't just find Coiba or Romeo and Juliet here in the stores, because they can't be sold here. You can bring them from the trip to Cuba for your personal use in small amounts, but not buy. So, what they do, they use tobacco seeds from Cuba. We made it. We made it. So the final stop on our today's tour, our ice cream stop. Now, the ice cream parlor is a pretty small place. I just don't want us to be crammed in there with other people. So the ice cream comes to you today. I'll just go inside, grab the tray, and come back. Just before I do, let me thank you for joining me today on that tour. And let me applaud to you actually for, you know, surviving all that food today. Now, it was a pleasure for me. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for your questions and for all your attention of this ice cream parlor that is called azúcar. Remember, sugar. And the flavor itself is called Abuela Maria, Grandmother Maria, which is very much the reincarnation of several favorite Cuban flavors in the form of ice cream. You have vanilla-based ice cream with guava chunks, cream cheese, Maria crackers, those rounded biscuit crackers, they're almost like graham crackers for Cubans, and some extra guava sauce on top, just because why not? Right? So, well,
Okay, you guys, so that was the food tour. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we did. We are on the way back to the hotel room. I need to take a nap. John is going to take Vlad out to do a little sightseeing / shopping or whatever. But we'll see you at dinner tonight. It's Joe Rubichon, and it is a tasting menu, so bye. Oh yeah, and I did want to mention, I was happy with the food tour because it was mask wearing, and when we weren't wearing our masks, we were able to social distance. I know that I've been kind of hard on Florida with the whole non-mask wearing and the non-social distancing that we've noticed quite a bit here, but I was really happy with that, so I thought I should let you know. Bye.